Well, look at that. My eggplants are up. And you can see this is not the So Easy seed, because you can see one of them there. It's reddish. And this stuff, it was the other stuff. But it's come up. That was 2017 seed. It took a while, but here it is. So you remember when I planted it about a month ago, and I was thinking, oh, well, I can just move these guys over here. Well, now I can't, because these are coming up. So, and something else has come up in with my habanero peppers too. So we'll see how that goes. And I have had some of my seedlings die, but you know, I've had a lot of root damage since I'm having to thin them out so much. So that's James's dinner. It's some instant pizza sort of thing, and I put a salad and some grapes, and he'll eat it with some Parmesan that I got for $1 for a container, and the 2 of these pizzas were $1. So
Fusta, is that what it's called?
Yeah, I guess so. So James is going to talk about the same thing he was talking about yesterday.
Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah.
Witnesses.
And I'll be back out in a minute. So you can put as much of that on your food as you want.
Parmesan.
I mean, it's got to be used up.
So, we were talking about... we're going through this Jehovah's Witness book here. It's the Vivir para siempre en el paraíso en la tierra. Hopefully I remember that correctly. You'll have to excuse my pronunciation, particularly if you are Spanish speaking. I tried. I took a little bit of that at university. Okay. Oh yeah, page 161. 151, but I think it's 161. Yeah. Paz entre la gente y los animales. So, this is what paradise is supposed to be on earth. Here we go. I'll kind of show you here. So you got a guy holding a duck here, a little kid. And here's a wolf lying down with a lamb. A lion kind of looking a little bit disgruntled. He's thinking, man, this vegetarian diet they got me on, man, it's not agreeing with me. Here you got a leopard. He's kind of looking, I think he's looking at the ducks and, man, oh man, I wish God weren't watching, because I'd be chowing down on that duck feathers and all I'd be wearing. I think this wolf is kind of saying, man, oh man, I hope God turns his back. I can chow down on this lamb or sheep. Yeah, it's kind of silly. Yeah. I don't know what those carnivores are going to be chowing down on. Yeah? Fructivores, yeah, herbivores. Maybe they'll just eat the stuff they feed astronauts, you know, a little bit of stuff out of a tube. Anyway, yeah, just kind of silly. Okay, so we saw a picture of the Jews who were plotting against Jesus. They looked like Osama bin Laden on a bad day. Let me see. Yeah, very much like Arabs. Understand, Jews are Arabs. They come from the northern part of the Arabian Peninsula. So in that sense, they're Arabs. Really Aramaeans. I believe the Bible has one of the patriarchs being portrayed. This is the Old Testament, or Hebrew Scriptures, but the other way too. Designated was it one of the patriarchs was described as a wandering Aramean, northern part of the Arabian Peninsula. You don't like that? You think Jews are Europeans? Well, you're welcome to your opinion. It's buffoon. Okay. So yeah, 25 hours. Let's just see. So just refresh your memory of how buffoonish the designation or the portrayal of these Jews plotting to kill Jesus. So could they be serving God, the religious leaders that sought to kill Jesus? That's the little cut comes picture. Let's just look. Are these Jews? I'm not sure. I don't think so, but Jews looking down their long noses, and it's not me calling the noses long. Well, it is, but they're portrayed as being long, Whereas Jesus' nose, well, it looks as though he had his nose snipped or something like that. In every picture of Jesus in here, and there are lots of them. Yeah, these are presumably Jews from way back when, and yeah. So the law was like a wall between the Israelites and the other pueblos. Pueblo can mean city, but it can also mean peoples. So here they are looking down. These Jews are looking down. Their long noses. This guy doesn't have that long a nose. I don't know. Maybe he had it bobbed way back when. Looking down their noses at other people. See? There's a Roman, it looks like. I don't know what these, I don't think the Jews back then knew about Orientals maybe that much. Anyway, yeah, looking down their noses at other different skin colors and stuff like that. Well, yeah, I don't think it. I don't think it really helps out pointing that out. I think the Jews were kind of exclusive and stuff like that. They have done a major amount of interbreeding, and they have at least one genetic predisposition that causes them a little bit of, some people, some Jews, a little bit of trouble. But of course, to hear especially Swedish people talking about it, the Jews are Europeans. And, you went to some European villages, or most European villages, the ones most likely to have blue eyes would be Jews. Like Paul Newman. Did you know Paul Newman is 50% Jewish? Yeah, 50% Jewish. So he had nice blue eyes. Bob Dylan, nice blue eyes. Barbara Streisand. Oh, of course, her nose looks so European. She looks like a Swedish model, but she's got, I think, blue eyes and stuff like that. Simon and Garfunkel. No, not Simon, but Garfunkel, blue eyes. But yeah, Europeans have already made the definitive decision about whether the Jews are Europeans or not, and that was called the Holocaust. Okay.
All right, so I tried this. This is delicious. It's just like a pizza that sometimes people, you see different people will eat pieces of pizza differently, and some people roll it up and eat it like a sandwich, and that's what.
Well, it's probably easier on the fingers once you've got it rolled up, You're not going to have stuff spilling all over the place. We'll see if we'll see if I spill the stuff all over.
So it is delicious, anyway. Say that for it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Definitely,
I want to see that package in there.
Definitely worth the 90-some cents I paid for
Rista. That's amazing. It's got the President's Choice.
Yeah, well, like I said, Superstore is, Shoppers Drug Mart was taken over by Superstore. So.
There we go. But my experience with President's Choice, i.e. Superstore pizza, has not been that good. But
I know, but this is good. Yeah. So.
And remember, folks, shop Canadian.
Yeah, there was, right after James got better from cancer, I had been warned about this. Somebody told me. They were like, it's not while you're going through it, that's not the hard part. It's afterwards. Because somehow when you're going through a stressful thing, like trying to keep somebody alive, your body just keeps going. But then afterwards, once the stress is done, you're really in trouble. So, and that's what happened to me. I was once James was healthy again, and it seemed like everything was going to be okay. And my health wasn't good, and it just kept going downhill. And I ended up, like, I was too exhausted to cook for us, and so I was getting us a lot of instant pizzas to make. And
I generally like that.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. So
I put on a lot of pounds, but
yeah, I
guess you
know.
did
I
too.
put on a ton. So I ended up going to, I think I was a size 10 at least for that winter. I went back down again because I got really sick and had to have surgery and stuff like that. But anyway, I don't think it was anything to do with the pizza that I was eating. Really, it was just, you know, it was already in motion, right? I mean, I was eating a lot of other junk things that the weight gain was. You know, I was eating crackers. You always think of crackers as being healthier than chips. Well, I was eating a lot of crackers and pizza and Coke Zero. I discovered Coke Zero and I loved it. So I was drinking a lot of that. Not good. Anyway, James will review the Ferrero Rocher chocolate, this dark hazelnut salted caramel. I got this for $1.
That's an empty package.
Yes,
There's a reason.
he really liked it. But me, I mean, I have to be careful about how much chocolate I eat because it'll give me a headache every time. And so what I've been doing is I'll have a piece of chocolate in the evening because I know the headache's going to come on, but it'll come on while I'm asleep. And so I wake up and, oh, my jaw's sore because I've been clenching my teeth while I've been sleeping. So my body doesn't like it that I've eaten this. It does have the headache at night, but I managed to sleep through it, this isn't really a good idea. You know, it's just the way I've been able to I know I can eat the chocolate if I eat it near bedtime, and then, yeah. But it's not a good idea anyway, because then I wake up and I'm not feeling well rested because I have had a headache while I've been sleeping. And I guess that still my body realizes that I have a headache and it doesn't work out. So anyway, so chocolate is for James, not for me. And that's okay. But honestly, not worth the headache as far as I'm concerned. I mean, the headaches are a doozy for me, but even sleeping through the headache, and I mean, it's not major enough to keep me awake, right? But I sleep and I have a headache. It's still not worth it. Not worth it. Because I'm very tired today. I don't feel well because I didn't sleep properly. Anyway, but what would you say about this, James?
That's awesome chocolate.
Yeah. I think it's beautiful. It looks really beautiful. The thin layers of chocolate with the creamy stuff in between. It looks very pretty. But yeah.
Anyway, I was trying to
For James.
ration out how much I took, but today I couldn't resist. I was a little hungry.
That's the one thing about that kind of pizza, though. You can't really put Parmesan on it. You'll have to put the Parmesan on your salad. Because
I've already plotted that out. It would just fall off. That's okay.
I guess you could have put it in a pile and then just dip the one end into the Parmesan. Because it's
I'm kind
sticky
of
on the
dipping
inside.
it in the salad.
Into the salad
soft
dressing.
here.
Yeah.
Salad dressing.
Well, that's all right, too. Anyway. So, I suppose I should plant some seedlings while you're...
Talking more about
Is
these
it warm enough to be planting seedlings right now? It's taking a long time heating up today. It's supposed to go.
Yeah,
to
it is. The
12.
sun has kind of come out. Blurry kind of
I
fashion.
have moved some of the seedlings into the porch, but I figure if it's kind of an overcast day, whatever, I may as well leave them in the windows where they are. They won't get quite as much
I feel
sun.
it's going to get sunnier and sunnier.
You think so? Good. Well, anyway, yeah, I'll get planting some seedlings. It is disappointing though, you know, when you're that's another thing. When you plant the seeds, like I'm using the 2017 seeds this year, right? So I don't know if it's going to come up.
They're a little out
So
of
I
date.
just
8
plant
years.
it. Yeah, so I just plant it really
7
heavy,
years.
like a child would, just in a pot and in a flat, and it's all come up. So even the eggplant, which I didn't think the eggplant would come, it's coming. So that's one thing. If you haven't started your tomatoes yet, and eggplant and peppers and stuff like that, I mean, I honestly, I would say if you want a pepper crop, plant your peppers in August, the previous year, inside. Keep them over the winter.
Takes that long.
It does. They really take a long time. So, but a lot of people will start them now, plant them out. You're not going to get a good crop. And really, I have never had luck with eggplant, because the thing is with peppers, you can start them in August, like right when your garden is finishing up, and we're in September. You can plant them in September or October inside. Right when your garden's finishing up outside, and you think, oh well, I have a little bit of energy that I can spend on peppers, you can start them inside, and they'll live over the winter in the sunny window. And you can keep bringing them out and in and out and in. Same thing with golden berries, we found. You can keep them. I mean, it's hard work bringing them in because they grow big fast. And so you're moving big plants back in the fall and out in the spring and whatever. But with the peppers, they don't take that much room. And so I have this geranium behind me and other dracaena and stuff like that they go out and in. And the same thing with the peppers and the goldenberry. They can go out and in. So you can have the same productive plants for years. Just keep bringing them in. That's what I found with especially the habanero peppers. The plants don't get very big, but they produce a lot of fruit, and it's definitely worth. Like I had a habanero plant that was about that tall. It was the biggest habanero I ever had because I kept bringing it back and forth, out and in, year after year. So many fruit, so worth it to bring it out and in. So that's what I would recommend with your peppers. So I don't expect much from these peppers this year. We'll see. You can follow the progress. They're up, they're growing, and I will put them out in the garden where their mama was. And but I plan on bringing them in, and then out, and then in, and then out, and we'll see how long I keep up with that, right?
How long your back can handle.
Yeah, I mean, eventually I go, why am I bothering to do this? I should just start another plant. And I feel bad when I do that, but
They
especially
become
with
almost
the
like one of the
goldenberry.
family. Yeah.
I know they do. And I should have, that one habanero plant that I didn't bring in that one year. I feel bad about that because it was, like I said, it had gotten huge, and yeah, it was like one of the family.
And not like unappreciated in-laws or something like that.
No.
I've never had a plant
They're
diss me.
wonderful. Yeah, you're good to them, they're good to you. It's wonderful. It's a great relationship you can have with your garden plants. So anyway, I guess I'll tell you how much time you have, and then I'll get planting.
15?
10.
Okay.
Well, just over.
Okay. Put my glasses on. Okay. You can see what I'm doing. There we go. We're looking at this Jehovah's Witness. What? Don't worry, I'm getting near the end. Okay, so 220. King David apparently was, I don't know, they have brown eyes, it looks like. But something like a strawberry blonde King David. A little Caucasian there. Almost as blonde as Garfunkel, Art Garfunkel. Oh, should call him Art Carbuncle. Isn't that amazing? Carbuncle. A carbuncle can mean like a boil, or it can mean like a kind of jewel. And Garfunkel or Garfinkel, I think, is a sort of an alternative pronunciation of carbuncle. Not amazing? Not the boy, I'm pretty sure. Although the way Art Garfunkel behaved according to Paul Simon, maybe he behaved like a boy. But I don't know. I think Paul Simon was hard. Hard-headed little fella, hard to get along with. I think they're both kind of hard to get along with. Anyway, here's King David, stroking his beard and contemplating Bathsheba taking a bath. Of course, I think she was in more of a state of undress when he actually saw her and started, shall we say, lusting after. She ended up being the mother of David's successor, King Solomon, third king of Israel, and the progenitor of a long line of Jewish kings. I believe it went all the way down to, what was his, who was the last king of Judea in the Davidic line? Kind of glitching. Zechariah, maybe? Not the prophets. Zedekiah. I think. Anyway, one of those guys. Kind of glitching, I should know. He didn't make it into captivity in Babylon, roughly 586 BC. He had his sons killed before his eyes. I think he did make it into captivity, and then he was blinded. So that was the last thing that he saw, was his sons being killed. Here's Hosea. Hosea, can you see? Fleeing from the immoral demands of the spouse of Potiphar, or the wife of Potiphar, or partner, as they say. There she is. She grabbed his coat or mantle. It's not the coat of many colors, and it looks as though he's pretty well dressed underneath that. He's fleeing. He looks pretty homely, really, by modern day or modern day Western standards, but she's really excited. He actually did exist. He was actually semi-worshipped by later on for centuries by the Egyptians. See if you can find out who Hosea was, or Joseph was in Egyptian. This is history, okay? Because the guy, he had a slightly different name. But the name is a compound of the god Im. The god Im, Elohim. I'm the person, first person, to know that for perhaps 2,500 years or something like that, or more. Maybe 3,000 years, 4,000 years. Joseph actually dates from more than 4,000 years ago. Be close to 4,500 years ago. And that's according to the Egyptian records. He saved Egypt from 7-year famine, according to the Egyptian account. But you'd have to kind of wreak havoc on the Egyptian chronological system as it's been handed down to us, starting from Herodotus, actually, the father of history, also the father of laws. So Bathsheba, Jophline, that's all I'm going to visit on you. It's just particularly when they've got righteous or self-righteous people chucking books into a fire. I'm reminded of what, unfortunately, Heinrich Heine said all too truthfully: where they burn books, there eventually they burn people. Okay? So book burning, page 98 there. Very religiously, zealously, shall we say, chucking books in a fire. And the book says it's a good example for us This the Ephesians, I think. Burning book? No. Shame on you, Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm going to mention Jehovah's Witness. You know, like I have a German book called Hirten. I think it's Hirten, I think it's the plural. Ohne Erbarmen. Shepherds or herdsmen without mercy, without pity. And it's written by a woman who was I think she was a convert to Jehovah's Witness. She was German or Austrian. I think she converted from Catholicism, so it could be Austrian. And she describes how the church hierarchy treated her. So generally when I run across Jehovah's Witness people, I like them, stuff like that, like chatting with them, but their hierarchy is absolutely awful. They're absolute skunks. Jehovah's Witness and people like them that are predicting the end of the world forever keeps on getting delayed. There's a guy who is kind of like a renegade, although very nice guy, Jehovah's Witness, and he wrote a book about it.
Okay, boys, come on in. Let's
and
go.
He called
Where's
it
the other one?
Apocalypse Delayed, as I recall. Apocalypse Delayed. Because the apocalypse is something getting put off. You know, if you're being tempted to convert to this religion, you know, by their fruits, the Bible says, ye shall know them. It's something like the King James Version. And, you know, they're bad people. The leaders, bad people. They don't follow Jesus' example. And, you know, like they're not good at prophecy. They keep on doing prophecy, and they should realize the less you do with prophecy, in modern day times when people can check things up, the better it is for your credibility, shall we say. They make huge demands on their people to go out and try to convert others. So that's the Jehovah's Witnesses are the poor people you see standing on street corners and all kinds of weather.
Do they stand on street corners? I don't think they stand on street corners.
What?
I don't think they stand on street corners. They just go to people's homes.
No.
Why?
I don't know if they do much standing on street corners anymore, but they used to. You'd see them all the time, all the time, around the where they used to have the buses stopping and stuff like that. I talk with them, you know, like that.
Okay.
So, yeah, they oftentimes they'll come and try to visit people and make nuisances of themselves, even though they're generally nice people and shouldn't be nuisances. They're required of that by their religion. They kind of keep track of how many people they contact and stuff like that. Okay? They're very, very intrusive hierarchy, and it's hierarchical. Okay. I think they're centered out of Brooklyn or someplace in New York. Anyway, this poor woman, but she went through some hard times. And I believe it's Hirten ohne Erbarmen. Shepherds, herdsmen without pity. And she's talking about these people that run that church.